peace. Happy now. Now is the vibrate, of course. Not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past. Ah, right now, for that ace. Right now is the vibrate. Just want to revisit something that, everybody is on this spiritual growth right now. Everybody's trying to find out, man, how I open my third eye, man. My pineal gland, you know what that is, how I open it, you know, in which that's the question that we mostly all come across, because we all seeing stuff about the all-seeing eye and the eye of Ra. What's this all about? You know what I'm saying? This intriguing information. This information is intriguing for a reason because it's something that our soul is like, hey, I remember that. Like I used to strengthen my pineal gland. I remember that. It's something that resonates with us. But I just want to go over a few things. You know what I'm saying? Not while not getting too deep into it. Matter of fact, you got my old video. I had to laugh at it because the title had a trolling aspect to it. I keep it real, it was like reasons why you shouldn't, open your pineal gland. I got so much, which I don't, because the beautifulness of individuals, being themselves, there's a free will universe. You could feel how you want about the video and comment how you want. It's up to you. But I definitely got some comments where I was like, ooh, like it's toxic in that comment section, man. It got people like, tripping out because of that. But anyway, I was just basically being sarcastic and telling people, or reasons why you shouldn't open your pineal gland. But if you know me and you know anything about me or even have the slides I did, you know that I was just, being facetious and in essence just like presenting it in that devil's advocate format, you know what I'm saying? Like nothing, not trying to get people to not open up their third eye. But at the same time, it is a free will universe, so I'm not here to force you to open your third eye either. But just want to speak on the matter of fact, dealing with opening your third eye could be a physical situation and metaphysical. And what I mean by physical, I mean you can look at it on different aspects. Your third eye, a first eye, could be seen as, I'm not say could be seen, but it is your pineal gland. That's the physical form of your third eye, the pineal gland. And then you have your actual, third eye, first eye chakra, your Anya, Agna chakra, that resonates right there. So, you have the energy, basically like your chakra is like an energy meridian in essence. So, you got the energy form of it and you got your actual pineal gland that alongside with the pituitary gland, which the pituitary is that feminine aspect, the pineal is that masculine sunlight aspect. But together they regulate and deal with serotonin, melatonin, release of the body, serotonin, that chemical that keeps you happy, smiling, and releases when you're awake. And then melatonin releases to help you sleep and bring you into that dream state. Matter of fact, and then when you get further into it, that's when the DMT release, getting into lucid dreaming. But, you have the physical and the metaphysical aspect. For one, physically, I'm pretty sure you hear this a lot, stay away from tap water or fluoride water or just any water where you don't know if it's clean or not. Let's just put it like that. You want to find some of the healthiest water. Most people suggest spring water, or alkaline water. If you can find some alkaline water that hasn't been tampered with, because, when you get into this world of learning how to be healthy, you realize, you got people trying to gimmick you into like, oh yeah, this alkaline water, but they got all kind of additives to it. You got straight up good alkaline water. You got spring water that may not have a high alkalinity level, but, it's very pure and healthy, So it's different ways to go about that, but definitely just staying away from tap water in general. I remember I was staying in Baton Rouge, and most people, well, I've heard in most cases, I don't know how true it was, but like, oh, Baton Rouge has some of the best tap water in it. Like, I don't care. That's like if I'm not an alcoholic, I'm not drinking no more, and you tell me like, well, yeah, this is the best alcohol you could drink, so if you're gonna drink it, Nah, I'm straight on alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So I'm straight on fluoride. So even though some people tap water may be the best tap water, I'm good on that. So stay away from that because what the fluoride does is, matter of fact, it works very rapidly as far as like making calcium buildups on your pineal gland. That's why when most people get to a certain age, you know, they lose that imagination, that lucid dreaming abilities, you know what I'm saying? That intuition, you know what I'm saying? All this get lost whenever that pineal gland calcifies. Matter of fact, they had a ancient, I forgot what civilization, I want to say somewhere around China or one of those ancient civilizations where the emperor made the women wear bangs, you know, like basically wear their hair over their forehead so they could so it could help block the sunlight from getting to their pineal gland. Because it's said that our forehead is kind of like even though it's solid, you know, and solid as far as everything in this universe is solid, you know, even though ain't nothing, this a matrix, so ain't nothing really is solid, you know, but you know, even though your bone is solid, it actually kind of has like a thinness to it that allows sunlight to pass through it. You know, so this emperor or whoever this guy, I forgot the name, but he had all the women wearing bangs so they could stop that sunlight from hitting the pineal. And that's another thing. Sunlight helps to open the pineal gland also and help the third eye. Matter of fact, and just the general distribution of light and information to your DNA and in your body in general, but definitely for your pineal. You don't want to sit there and just stare at the sun, but you know, just occasionally just gaze into it. You know, let a little sunlight creep in. And sometimes while you're looking at it, you know, breathe in some of that good prana. Let that flow in the body, that good life force energy. Matter of fact, and definitely what I add to it is being barefooted while you're doing that also on some grass, and that'd be amazing feeling. You know, really get that light energy rolling in the body. Also dealing with detoxifying your pineal gland, or just basically by partaking in eating a lot of antioxidants. Matter of fact, you know, antioxidants and the way different foods, basically antioxidants and all this is basically how foods and different chemicals relate to melanin. Because matter of fact, the pineal area is the nigrus, like around that area is the nigrus substantia, is basically a melanin center, you know, within the brain. And by eating antioxidants, matter of fact, things like blueberries, and matter of fact, certain foods resonate on a physical chemical level and just the vibration of their color, you know what I'm saying? Just by eating blue and purple foods that resonate with the Anya chakra color, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you're dealing with the chakra aspect and the actual pineal gland. But, you know, blueberries, currants, like different purplish dark color food definitely help with the vibration of the Anya chakra, also the crown chakra, also, even though we're not talking about that. But and blueberries, say for instance, help with your memory also. So you know, that's helping with the physical aspect of your brain. It's also cleaning your brain up. Matter of fact, being an antioxidant, cleaning up the melanin inside and allowing. Matter of fact, because the melanin is a superconducting crystal. You know what I'm saying? And if and when harmed, or when you know when melanin feel threatened, then it kind of in essence go to messing up like it goes to attacking everything, and like it basically forms an attack within itself. That's why like certain foods are more harmful to melanated people than people that don't, you know, have a lack of melanin, because you know when they eating these foods they don't have a high melanin concentration to, you know, to trip out, flip out, and start attacking itself. So you know, with people with melanin when they eating these unhealthy foods or what have you, you know what I'm saying, it's basically like the melanin is attacking itself. So you want to have a healthy diet. Matter of fact, also keeping up with healthy sleep patterns. So dealing with your going to sleep on a in a right amount of time. You know, so say for instance, matter of fact, I brought up serotonin, melatonin release. So going to sleep instead of, you know, sometimes we get caught up in this insomnia and staying up and things of this nature. You want to make sure you're sleeping having healthy sleep patterns. Matter of fact, which eating tart cherries or drinking tart cherry juice. You can find tart cherry juice in a bunch of places. That's a natural way to get melatonin, to have melatonin released in the pineal. And also dealing with different crystals. Crystals. I thought about appetite because I did a video on appetite, how appetite resonates with your pineal gland, but appetite has the same exact chemical makeup of, the fluoride that not only calcifies our pineal gland, but also the calcium that is formed around the pineal when it's closing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to research and look into that, you know what I'm saying? But appetite's supposed to the stone appetite, which is known as the appetite is a word known for deception. That's what the Greeks named it because it's a stone that could be mistaken for all kind of other stones. But appetite has like a fluorite within it, and it resonates with the third eye. And when I saw that, I'm like, I wonder, is it resonating with the calcified part of the pineal? You know what I'm saying? Like, how could that resonate? You know what I'm saying? That's something to look into. But also, the most common stone is amethyst. You got satellite, lapis lazuli. Matter of fact, I got a piece of. Matter of fact, this is a purple azestulite, which azestulite is like quartz, but it's just dealing with certain beings. Like is a is a quartz, a type of quartz. Basically, it is a quartz that just has a certain type of vibrational signature. But any amethyst, a matter of fact, any purple stones. Cause matter of fact, like I say, colors, just the vibration of a color helps to resonate with the third eye, first eye, pineal gland. Cause matter of fact, just by wearing the color purple, like say for instance, if you're trying to strengthen that area, you want that violet, that purple, that kind of bluish purple color, you want to wear that color on you. You know what I'm saying? That help resonate with the vibration of that chakra. So having amethyst, satellite, lapis lazuli, and also crystal quartz, and also dealing with it on a meditative level, where you know what I'm saying, where you could take the amethyst, satellite, and you could either give commands, especially with quartz, like you could take some quartz and program and say, quartz, I want you to open my pineal gland. I want you to help to open my third eye chakra, my first eye chakra, my Anya chakra. I want you to, you know, help help light to be brought into my pineal. You know what I'm saying? Like basically, also you want to have visualizations. So like if you're using a piece of quartz, you want to visualize the vibration of that quartz, like connecting with your third eye, which would be like even, kind of like even with your brow area, your medulla area, straightforward. So you want to visualize that quartz, sending that vibration to that pineal and to that chakra and opening it up and helping it to spin. You know what I'm saying? Because until a chakra could be either close to not spinning or spinning very slowly, if it's closed. So to open that chakra, you want to also exit, like tell the course, I want you to help my third eye chakra to start spinning, in its proper direction, spinning clockwise. But that's another thing. Also, and honestly, just point blank too, this should have been at the top of the list with staying away from fluoride water. Meditation, you know, sitting there and quieting your mind, you know what I'm saying? Getting all these, egotistical thoughts, these lower vibrations from out of your body, because without being able to clean your vibration up, you won't be able to allow this chakra to open properly, But definitely meditation. One of the first meditations I used to do, like you could do own meditations where you don't even have to start off with just silent meditations. You could just take your breath in and just oh, and as you're doing that oh, like matter of fact, especially if you're making it have that deep vibrating resonation within the body. Matter of fact, you could probably feel it moving through your body, but that own vibration stimulates the pineal gland and helps to open it just as a vibration, just as as a sound frequency. It's helping to open up the pineal gland. And matter of fact, also, which this is a little more advanced, but the Kishara mudra, excuse me, Kichara or Kishara Mudra basically is when you take your tongue and you're putting it behind the, placing it at the top of the roof of the mouth, and you placing it behind the hard palate. So you start from your teeth and move backwards, and then you know where you got that little where the hard bone stop, and then where the soft part start at. You stick your tongue right there, and when you hold your tongue right there and you deal with your breathing, with your pranic breathing, basically is allowing the vibrational currents to connect with the pineal, with the third eye, you know. Because matter of fact, our body is just like a vehicle with little secret buttons, you know, like doing a mudra or holding your hand a certain way or open up certain little meridians and nadis in your body. Same thing with your pineal gland. Matter of fact, that's why they took away our native tongue, you know, as indigenous people and as slaves in America, you know what I'm saying? Because just the way the vibration of the words our indigenous language had, you know, and have in essence, you know, for the people that still holding on to it, you know, that vibration it has also stimulates the pineal gland. So just naturally, when talking your indigenous language, you will be stimulating your pineal gland. You know, that's why a lot of people, you know, which you shouldn't knock anybody who's trying to stay close to their indigenous culture and things of this nature, because you know that's the culture that gets closer and closer back to source and back to our spiritual practices that, you know, help us align ourselves spiritually. But you know that vibration of Om, you know what I'm saying, and the native tongue helps to vibrate that pineal. Also, matter of fact, pine nuts, which pine nuts is one of the few foods that has pineoleic acid, and pineoleic acid helps to basically open that third eye, open that pineal gland, and help strengthen the pineal gland. But they do have the disclaimer in essence where it's not a necessary a cell food or electric food, so it's not on Dr. Sebi's alkalizing food list, you know, but it does help the pineal gland. So give a take on how you want to work with that, you know. But matter of fact, for me myself, I try not to let foods, you know, dictate my vibration so much. Like matter of fact, I like to tell myself I eat healthy by choice. That I'm a vibrational being that could kind of indulge in whatever, you know, I want. Now that don't mean I go around eating anything and everything. No, of course not. But I just try not to have such that serious, uptight vibration about what I eat. You know, because matter of fact, say for instance, because if you're keeping yourself too clean and you're too uptight, then the strike of any little different chemical, then you super sick and you see, you know, you feeling very awful off of something that's not even that bad for you, you know, but because you've been super strict and super clean, you know, it's nothing, to each his own, you know, but kind of like with us as little kids eating dirt, you know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, dirt is seen as something that's dirty and filthy, but because we were playing in dirt all the time, our immune system was strong and could withstand a lot of dirt because of playing in it and dealing with it, you know. So, also practicing visualizations, like using remote viewing, like closing that eye and visualize, you know, a beach somewhere. Visualize, if you're not at home, visualize the inside of your house. You know, visualize. Just play with it. You know, just try to visualize, and that's honestly your first eye in essence. So all of us who, you know, how we close our eyes and we could picture seeing either a loved one that passed away, or we, you know, we could visualize somebody that's still here, you know, or visualize a dream car that we want or whatever. This is, you're using your third eye, your pineal gland in essence. So, you know, matter of fact, it's just like lifting weights. You know, when you're trying to get you working on your biceps, you do some curls. You know, you're working on your triceps, you do the other kind of curl. You know what I'm saying? You're working on whatever muscle you're trying to strengthen. Same thing with your pineal and your third eye. You know, in order to strengthen it and help it open up more, you want to partake in a lot of visualizations, and also visualizations during meditation. So like meditating, and like I was saying, you could visualize. Matter of fact, another thing that'll help open it is looking up. Like matter of fact, looking up into this area, like trying to look into this area with your eyes, almost like you're looking out of your first eye, like through your forehead, you know. But you know, in matter of fact, in most cases too, that'll trigger a kind of like REM sleep type of vibration with the eyes. But when you go to looking up and start breathing, you'll feel them eyes starting to, you know, and it's to each his own too. With a lot of these things, you know, it's some things that's gonna resonate heavily with you, some things not. So you just gotta find a thing that, you know. And I always tell people never stop getting information. You know, this is just a small bit of information. There's even more in-depth information and more information to this, but for the most part, this just is simple, important things, you know, to know. Also, they got the exercise too, but this mostly kind of deal with your psychic abilities, dealing with your third eye, but it'll also help to open your third eye, where you can visualize the psychic light rods coming out of your pineal gland, out of your third eye, so you can visualize like some little light antennas coming out, basically like around your ear area, like that mid skull area on the sides, and then you visualize a rod coming out the front and the back by the medulla. As a matter of fact, visualize it being outside the body. You could visualize it expanding as far as you can, and visualize it picking up on the subtle energies around you. You know, matter of fact, that's another thing. Closing your eyes and visualizing just being your soul, like almost picturing not having a body. You know, things of this nature that helps with that connection also. Also, binaural beats. Binaural beats is also good for the pineal. Our brain works and deals with different brain waves and different hertz of vibration. So, matter of fact, I suggest 963 hertz is a good solfeggio binaural tune to dealing with the pineal gland. You'll find that most third eye activation binaural beats will be the 963 hertz. So you definitely would like to look into that. Matter of fact, put some headphones on and, you know, just let it work. 'Cause that's another helpful, you know, easy way of doing it. Because it's a thing, you know, use whatever to your advantages. Of course, you know, you could be like, oh, I'm just gonna do meditation the natural way. You know, to each his own. But in this growth, I realized, you know, you do what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Just because you use some binaural beats that happen to come from a phone or whatever, you know, doesn't mean that it takes away like those brain waves, those hertz that's resonating in your ear is actually working on your, you know, on your brain waves and working on your pineal and working on your chakra. So, you know, regardless of and two, but that is something to keep in mind though. You don't want to always be around the phone and always using, because you know phone gives off lower vibration lower vibrational frequencies that throw your body off and basically throw your chakras off, throw your subtle energy off, and mess with your aura in general, you know. But and that's about it. Like I said, looking up into the skull with meditations, you know, just breathing. Matter of fact, and visualizing and just visualize that light, you know, appearing right here, and then visualize, you know, you could either do the, like I say, visualize the rods coming out the pineal gland, or you could just visualize like light coming out this part of your forehead, and then closing your eyes and actually just visualizing, seeing. Matter of fact, think of yourself as being blind, you know, in the essence of trying to see people vibrational signatures, you know, closing your eyes and trying to feel everything with your third eye instead of trying to actually visualize something, like feel with your third eye. You know, metaphysical abilities go more than, you know, especially like just because it's called a eye. Matter of fact, which is called an eye because it has like fiber, like the same type of fibers that's like in our retina. You know, it's in our pineal gland, so that's another reason why they call it an eye also. But just dealing with purple stones, amethyst, satellite, lapis lazuli, uh, fluorite, and not fluoride, fluorite, the stone, you know. As a matter of fact, and you could deal with apatite, the stone, but like I say, there's just that reason to question it because apatite resonates with the same material, it has the same chemical makeup of the material that calcifies your pineal gland. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm still trying to look into that one right there. But that's just basic, just basic information. Dealing with your sleep patterns, making sure you're not being on that insomnia tip all the time. Eating antioxidants, making sure you're cleaning up that melanin center within the brain. That's another thing. The realness of the situation. Like, it is a melanin center and treat it like so. Like, I don't say that people that don't bring up that the fact that you have that melanin center in your brain, I ain't gonna say that they're giving misinformation or anything, but it is a fact that it is there. So let's acknowledge it and recognize it, and work with it properly, in order to fix it. And like I say, colors. Matter of fact, in the colors of food, whether like blueberries, just the color vibration of that food is gonna help with the chakra part. Matter of fact, like I say, you're helping with the actual subtle energy part of your third eye, first eye, and you're working with your actual physical pineal gland. And that's where like eating pine nuts and blueberries and staying away from fluoride water. That's the physical aspects of cleaning your pineal gland. And you have the metaphysical aspects, which meditation does. Both meditation deals with the physical and metaphysical aspect. Visualizations, practicing remote viewing, dealing with binaural beats, 963 hertz, you know. But that's basically it. I just want to, give a little briefing on it. In fact, this video 26 minutes. I be trying to, I just get verbose and try to cover everything, as I'm doing it. Matter of fact, trying to cover everything so when a person be like, "Hey, Kare, you can make a video on this," or you ain't, I probably covered that and more in a video. You just gotta look into, check out all my videos. In fact, and with that being said, I am grateful and appreciative of all y'all love and support. Of course, like the videos if you like them. If you could give donations to the PayPal. The PayPal link is in the description, and I got the PayPal link up with the links to my Instagram at the top of my YouTube page if you're on the computer. But just thank y'all and appreciate the love and support. Matter of fact, because without y'all commenting and giving feedback, you know what I'm saying? That's why I would never trip. Like, if somebody, like, I wouldn't, well, for sure I don't give trolls my energy, but, like, if somebody asks the same question or asks questions that they could actually Google, like, which you never should trip off for anybody anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, why let, somebody, people just asking questions, being themselves. We're all on different parts of our growth, you know what I'm saying? If you can't handle that, then you'll be very impatient when it comes to children or things of this nature, you come across things where it's like no explanation for like why this kid act this way or what, let people be people, just worry about yourself. But thank y'all for y'all love and support. Peace. Hope this video was very informative. Happy now. Matter of fact, staying in the now is another way to help, help that pineal gland, that first eye, flourish. You know what I'm saying? Because by staying in the moment, you're basically opening up that dimension of being able to work with the past and the future in that one moment. You know what I'm saying? Like a time machine. That's also dealing with the pineal gland. That extrasensory perception. Peace. Again, happy now. Now's the vibrate. Mahalo.